Oh man, Ryan Garcia drops the bombshell. He said DAZN absolutely is not interested in Devin Haney Kambosos. They want him to fight Kambosos because that's the real money fight. That's a money-making fight, not Devin Haney. We're about to talk about all that and more in this video. You don't want to miss it. I mean, I got a lot to say. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Listen, 2022, I told you, a lot coming from the channel. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Subscribe. We'll get it in. We'll get it active. And bad news for Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia is confirming a previous report that a video I made based on a report from a boxing reporter that DAZN wasn't interested in him as a potential opponent for George Kambosos. I want you guys to hear it out the horse's mouth. Ryan Garcia did a recent interview with a boxing reporter named Dan, and in this interview, Ryan spilled the beans. Link in the description. Without further ado, roll the clip.
There's a reason why they want me to fight Kambosos, because the subscriptions that come in when I fight, or the viewership. Yeah. I fell asleep. Devin Haney was fighting Jojo Diaz. That was so. Kambosos keeps barking on the internet, responding to people, that's not true. I'm the boss, blah, blah.
So right there, Ryan said DAZN recognizes game, and he drives the subscriptions, not Devin Haney. That's why they want the fight. And he says he, quote, fell asleep during Devin Haney's last outing versus Joseph Jojo Diaz. Listen again.
Subscriptions that come in when I, because the subscriptions that come in when I fight, or the viewership, yeah. I fell asleep. Devin Haney was fighting Jojo Diaz. That was so. And Kambosos keeps barking on the internet, responding to people, that's not true. I'm the boss, blah, blah, blah. Dude, why do you need a lie? Just don't say anything. And I like Kambosos. I think he's a cool dude, and I gave him props. I told him a long time ago, hey man, I think you could beat Teofimo. Good luck, do your thing. He said, yeah, man, if I beat him, you could have the first crack at it. I promised you.
Would you go over there?
I would, I wouldn't mind going over there. There was a little hesitation because, I mean, does he want to make money or not? I feel like you'll make more money over here. Mm-hmm. But if that's the only option I have, I've already, I'm vaccinated. I got everything done. So I'll definitely head over there and just put a beating on him, I guess, in front of his hometown. That's kind of sad. Get knocked out in front of Australia.
Wow, he said he'll beat the he said he'll beat the brakes off of Kambosos in Australia. That part was good.
Hometown, that's kind of sad. Get knocked out in front of Australia. I love Australia. It's crazy out there. The girls over there are amazing. Like, everything's amazing out there.
I've seen some stuff, but especially the girls. That definitely stuck out to me. But yeah.
Boom. There you guys have it. Link in the description. That's what Ryan Garcia says. Now, I made a video about this. Another separate boxing reporter says DAZN much rather prefers, or they much prefer Kambosos versus Ryan Garcia than Kambosos Haney. That is the cold hard truth. They're the buyer, and that's the fight that they want. So, DAZN is looking pretty bad here, because you have an undefeated black fighter in Devin Haney, who would be the missing link for George Kambosos in the whole undisputed picture that the WBC has but it created this frenzy, and this would be the clarification needed. And let Ryan Garcia tell it, and these boxing reporters are getting sources, and they're saying the same thing. They're saying DAZN prefers this. So somebody's leaking the business to the fighter and to the reporters that they're not interested in the Devin Haney fight. So it's just, this is sad for boxing, people. This is pathetic that boxing, like, for one, I have nothing against Ryan Garcia, but we got to talk about the cold hard facts, and we got to talk about the stone cold truth. And the reality is Ryan Garcia stayed on the sideline. Devin Haney, the reality is you have a black fighter in Devin Haney who fought the guy that Ryan was supposed to fight, but Ryan pulled out of his second fight last year, right? The second fight, and that was Joseph Jojo Diaz. Ryan Garcia was supposed to be the person that fought Joseph Jojo Diaz. So why would DAZN reward this type of behavior? And like, my thing is this: where is the real, like, cold hard statistic that everybody wants to see Ryan Garcia versus Kambosos, and nobody is willing to pay for Devin Haney and Kambosos, you know? And ironically enough, Ryan Garcia, when asked if he wanted to fight Kambosos in Australia, he hesitated, versus Devin Haney. When Devin Haney was asked the same question, Devin Haney said, man, I'll go wherever. I'll fight him on Jupiter if I have to, with no hesitation. So this is just a bad look for boxing, and it's a terrible look for DAZN. And if you're a black fighter and you're signed to DAZN, and this is their mantra, or this is their mission statement, then that's not a great look, in my opinion. That's not a great look, because again, what are the statistical metrics that we're really comparing? You got Ryan Garcia, who really hasn't fought anybody, you know, let alone he's been inactive, and he's pulled out of multiple fights. But DAZN is saying, hey, this is the money fight. This is the fight we want to put our dollar behind. And Ryan, he sounded a little hezzy with even going to Australia, versus Devin Haney said he'll fight in Australia, he'll fight wherever to make the fight happen. And like I said, this would solve the whole riddle of who's undisputed. Ryan Garcia, this is so multifaceted. The WBC really did a number on the lightweight division, for the record, but this is so multifaceted, because here's another issue. Ryan Garcia should be fighting Devin Haney, because Devin Haney was the WBC champion, is the WBC champion, right? And he has the WBC watch on right there. It looks like that's what the watch is, right? And Ryan Garcia and Joseph Jojo Diaz were about to fight each other instead of fight Devin Haney. The only reason the Joseph Jojo Diaz fight happened is because Ryan pulled out. Ryan Garcia was the mandatory before that to fight Devin Haney. So the NBF list, no black fighter, is in full effect, and you're seeing it run rampant throughout boxing. How is this the case? Why is this the case? You know, I'm a consumer. I make money in boxing, and I put back money into boxing. I would buy Devin Haney versus George Kambosos, you know? So how is DAZN, like, where's DAZN's head at? Where's DAZN's leadership at for them to be telling reporters and the fighter that Kambosos Garcia is the money fight, and that's what everyone wants to see? And it's based on what? Like I said, Ryan Garcia's been inactive. He's not a champion. So it's not going to be like it's a battle for undisputed. He was hesitating when he was asked about going to Australia, right? What real big metrics has he done? The Luke Campbell fight? I mean, he fought in Texas. I mean, I've seen the commission reports. I could pull them up in a future video if that's what y'all want. But Ryan's never been on pay-per-view. So it's clear to me, DAZN leadership, they don't know anything about boxing. And the Lynn Blavnik dude, they're just wasting his money because they don't know what they're doing. This is why, in my opinion, the DAZN programming has been failing in America, because you're telling us what we want to see instead of just giving us what we want to see or what we need to see. And that's the cold hard truth when it comes to this. Devin Haney and Kambosos is sellable. Ryan Garcia and Kambosos is sellable. See, I don't bend or fold or like bend the truth. I think Ryan Garcia versus Kambosos will be a decent sell as well, right? I think they both can sell. But to ostracize the Devin Haney fight, which also provides clarity to the division, and just to, you know, back burner him and make it sound like, oh, nobody's trying to watch that. You know, and this is kind of what Terrence Crawford is suing Top Rank for. If we're being fair, Terrence Crawford, he's saying that his former promoter, Bob Arum, is RACIALLY, bias, and that they have not made a plan to make Terrence Crawford into a star. And how could we say really much different about a British company in DAZN, where look at Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade, he's been calling out Canelo, he's been calling out top dogs. They're not giving him no top fights. Eddie Hearn hasn't got him no top fights. And they're talking about Bivol, you know, out of Russia, and a Kazakhstan fighter possibly getting Canelo. That's the 2-fight deal that DAZN is pitching to him. But why not Andre? Why Andre didn't get the Canelo fight? Canelo's been on that platform for several fights at this point, and I guess he only has to fight one black fighter, Danny Jacobs, or a MacBook Air, or somebody that no one wants to see. You know what I mean? And then now you're devaluing the Devin Haney fight and saying everybody wants to see Ryan Garcia. And there's other great fights for Ryan Garcia, and I don't see how he should really be rewarded when he has no belt. And while Devin Haney's fighting Jorge Linares and Joseph Jojo Diaz off a great Javier Fortuna performance, earning his keep, Ryan was on the sideline talking about everybody, you know? And I don't see how that behavior should be rewarded whilst Devin Haney, his behavior is not celebrated. You know, that doesn't really seem fair, but I guess life isn't fair, and neither is DAZN. So, you know, it's hard for me to support a company like that if this is how they think and this is how they view. You don't want to make an undisputed fight because you're saying there's no market value for it. What about the best fights and fight season and all that other gibberish? You know what I mean? Now they're switching up, saying they're going to do pay-per-view for Canelo's fight. They won't give Andrade a good fight. Ryan Garcia might get Kambosos, and that's what they prefer over Devin Haney. But they won't force Ryan Garcia to fight Devin Haney. That's a great fight. That Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney is a better fight than Ryan versus Kambosos or Devin Haney versus Kambosos in terms of making money. But why won't they force Ryan Garcia, who's played hooky all of last year? Why won't they force him to fight Devin Haney? Man, I'm out. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster.